to shit.
Hello everyone, I am Zach. Welcome to the Web3 Windup live stream with your favorite crypto channel, Altcoin Edge. We have the lovely Anna Godfrey with us this week, so say hello to Anna, everybody. This is our first live stream, as I just said, so we're going to get straight into it. We were talking previously about like Degen Plays the Week, and we can have a look at Ian's Degen Play the Week here. And it was the Charu Suzuka, just a 30-day chart. Ian, when did you recommend us to get in? Was it about here at 7 cents?
No. I bought it at 3.2 cents.
You bought it at 3.2 cents? Oh,
Yeah.
right. Around the start of August then. So you're still in a profit-ish.
Yeah. Like, if you're expecting me to apologize for this, I won't.
Oh, right.
He doesn't apologize for anything, Zach. You should get used to that.
Yeah, true.
Like, no, like, I don't feel like, first of all, it's a Degen play. So by definition, I shouldn't have to apologize for anything Degen.
No,
and secondly, it's in profit, which is absurd that you would even think about making me apologize for something that's in profit.
Yeah, well, you recommended a group around here when it was like at all-time highs, you know?
I'm not saying recommended, like NFA.
Okay.
No, I don't think it was at all-time highs. It might have been about 5 cents. It's probably down. It's taken a serious dump today.
And have we got any more updates on Suzuka?
No. They've been steadily growing their Twitter account organically. They have had their articles. So they've spent money on PR. They've had articles in the express.co.uk. They have also they're listed on Yahoo Finance, which means someone's spending money on this thing. But, looking at the chart, it's also a heavily manipulated token. So, yeah, no, I won't apologize for it yet. If it goes to zero, I might. Or
Right.
When it goes to zero, I will.
Just super quickly, you can see Bitcoin has had like a massive sell-off in the last few hours. So, we are now back down to 21 after being up at like 23, 24. So, yeah, that's not good. And then Ethereum following the trend, pretty much like the merge is coming in. We have a date as well, 16th of September, I believe it is. And so that's basically what's happening in the crypto sphere at this point in time. Ian, would you like to give us your one winner and one loser of the week, like?
Yeah, I can do. So my loser.
Just share your screen there. You've got it on the Telegram screen there, and I can transition you over to it.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah. So I'll just open the link and drag this across. My loser of the week is Huobi, because their HUSD token, which is supposedly a stable coin, went down, I think, nearly 15%. So if I just drag it across here, I can open it. Like, it lost its peg. It went down 15%. I think almost. It might have gone down to 0.87. There's no clarity yet on exactly why this has happened or what caused it. In the Curve liquidity pool, they issued a warning that the current exchange rate for the token is too low. Just because obviously it's linked to an exchange, I think that might put it, like, I have some assets on Huobi, and it put a little bit of fear in me. Not gonna lie. One of the largest exchanges out there, stablecoin, losing its peg by that amount, albeit they did regain it quickly, is worrying, because if it can happen once, it can happen again. I guess, further credence to the idea of, like, don't keep your tokens on exchanges. Use one of these little bad boys, a Ledger Nano, or whatever else, to keep it safe. Yeah, so that's my my loser of the week. My winner of the week is DaoMaker, and the reason for this is the token was at $1.50, and they sort of announced this plan, which is really cool, like building in the bear market kind of idea. Basically, they have it's like an advent calendar of events that are happening on DaoMaker. You can see it here. Sorry, my internet is just really slow with the live stream up. So the team has staked a ton of their tokens. Here's the calendar. They also announced a partnership with Binance, which I thought would be something like Binance Labs, maybe, but actually, in fact, it turns out that it's using their custody solution, which you'll be interested to know, Anna, is this like multi-party computation to kind of, decentralize the private keys of the assets. And I don't know what your take on it is. It's just interesting that nobody else in the space is doing that. You there?
Oh, I am now.
Yeah. No, well, I just, so very similar to Credo, basically. If you didn't know, Anna works for Credo. So, so Binance has come up with a similar solution. DaoMaker is using it. They've put in guaranteed allocations and community SHO. The new platform has an upgraded tier system. You can stake the the team have staked their DAO tokens for 3 years. So I just think like it's great to see them doing all this, but to see even now after kind of the dump this morning, last I checked, DAO was up 33% on where it was just over a week ago. And like, in this market, that's pretty amazing, especially when you consider they're a decentralized launchpad that hasn't actually held a token sale. So they're my winner of the week. They've managed to like get the token to pump. They've got 60% of the circulating supply staked. Everybody I think who's into IDOs and ICOs knows that it probably is the best decentralized launchpad out there. It's great to see them doing what they're doing. Whether it was worth the pump that it got during the week, I really don't think it was worth that much of an increase in price. But we've still got sort of advent calendar days 7, 8, 9, 10 to come, and you'd imagine some of those announcements will be big. Maybe the custody solution with Binance is a precursor to the fact that Binance Labs will get involved in terms of early stage investment in DaoMaker projects, or that kind of was my idea. And if they have a relationship with Binance, obviously one of the things everyone knows, with getting tokens to pump initially is having it on a large exchange. So if they had a relationship with Binance whereby they were listing their tokens early, or certainly, select number of them, then I think that might be something that's speculation, but it might be something you see in the last few days. So that's my winner and my loser.
Brilliant. Yeah, like we've seen, I think with a lot of the launch pads that like there just hasn't been as many launches on them because of just the market uncertainty as well. Like you can see that like Kwon as well. I don't know when their last launch was, but it was quite a while ago. So pardon?
Ondo was the last one.
That's a couple of months ago now. So I think like all of them are just I'm sure they'll be like, these projects are going to have to launch eventually. So I'm sure there'll be like it'll almost be like suddenly there'll be a shitload of launches, and it'll all be go. I will just quickly go on to my winners and losers of the week. My winner of the week is Kwon. I should just a little quick pop here.
I'm not sure your screen share is working.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
You're talking about live streaming being on the line.
Is my screen share working?
I don't think so.
No, it's not. Oh, disaster. I'll try again. Just 1 second. Can you see it now?
Yeah, can see it now.
All right, cool. So my winner of the week is Kwon. So I'll tell you why in a second.
It was supposed to be a stable coin, and it didn't remain stable. It must be a fraud. It must be a scam. You're talking about life savings being on the line, and it's people putting their money behind the thing that you're building. Like crypto is still sort of like the wild west. I think I developed like sort of a alter.
I think like we all agree that crypto is the wild west. You couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better myself, Kwon, and you are one of the major reasons why it's the wild west. And one of the reason why I think he is the winner of the week. He's had a huge expose done by Coinage Media. He was called out by FatmanTerra, who's been one of the better ones on the YouTube, on Twitter, like calling out the problems in Kwon and in Terra Luna. And he says this now to Mr. Guzman, who says he's been like constantly shilling Luna for years, and now he's the first one to do the interview with Kwon. And there's been a bit of back and forth with them here on Twitter as well. So like, I think that's pretty interesting. Like, it's a 30-minute clip, but perhaps it was done by an impartial journalist or not, or maybe people think he's the previous shit of the project. And I think like, people are so upset about Kwon's calm demeanor. They felt that like justice has been denied to them. And like a lot of the people that worked in Terra, like in South Korea, are being locked from leaving the country. and then Kwon's just like still like free in Singapore. Like he bet big and lost, and like a lot of people lost a lot more than like what Kwon was lost. And I think like him being out and like out, not in jail, and like relatively okay, so to speak, is it's a big win for the week. If you compare this now, like with like Tornado Cash, Tornado Cash briefly is a privacy protocol mixer on Ethereum, and it's entirely decentralized system and it's completely anonymous. However, one will say that most of the hack funds and all the hacks, we've had loads of hacks and bridges get washed through there. And the Treasury and the OFAC sanctioned Tornado Cash. And Tornado Cash is a smart contract. So like, how is a smart contract supposed to defend itself? Like other sanctioned entities can defend themselves in court. But
Is that Zach's internet gone, Anna?
What?
Oh, no. Yeah, Zach's gotten real laggy, but I can... Sorry. I think I pressed... I was like fiddling around with my hand and pressing and unpressing mute just for the crack.
Here I am in the middle of it.
Has Zach gone for you as well?
No, he's here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so weird. I can't connect to Zach, but I can connect to you. I'll shut up now. Sorry, Zach.
Yeah. So like another like mixer blender got sanctioned a while back, but that was like a legal entity, and so like it could defend itself in the sense of a smart contract, but like Tornado Cash is a smart contract, and like it just shows with the US, like they just been quite heavy-handed, and like this was Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, and like he just says we're targeting Tornado Cash, which is like sponsored by North Korea, like and used by North Korea to launder money. But like, you know, that's like one person, one entity using it, and just shows that the powers that be in America don't really understand what they're doing if they're coming out with these things and then deleting these tweets not so long later. Yeah, and the big user is like the co-founder Alexis, this Russian national who was arrested in Amsterdam, and we still don't know what the charges are he's been arrested for. And so like other way, like Aave is blocking people from interacting with addresses attached to Tornado Cash, and like you also have to understand with Tornado Cash, like they did due diligence on their end in the smart contract. They basically burned their access to every function except for deposit and withdrawal. So they were blocking sanctioned addresses from using it as an application. And you could also, if you need to prove it to a centralized exchange where you got your money from, Tornado Cash could produce a report, like i.e. a compliance tool that would show that you put your money into Tornado Cash and received it at the other end, whilst all being private, if that makes sense to you. Basically, you can prove to the centralized exchange. So, like, why was Tornado Cash targeted? Well, the Secretary of State in North Korea, but also, you know, like people maybe just hiding from the IRS their tax bill.
It was money laundering, wasn't it, Zach?
Yeah, money laundering could have, but I think like you're also very like people want to be private with their financial transactions as well. Like, so I think like it could have been a combination of things, but I think we've just been quite like heavy-handed with this. And like,
yeah. Did you see too that people were sending like ether to celebrity and like high up people in the US's like public wallets, like Jimmy Fallon, Dave Chappelle. I think the CEO of Coinbase as well was sent.
Yeah, Armstrong.
Like, yeah, so it's like, are they gonna get in trouble for that, or you know, what's protecting them?
Well, like, you know, will like protocols like Aave, like who will they block those people? Like, you know, the celebrity people, like, you know, because that's what they said. They blocked people interacting with the addresses. Like, I think it was a dusting attack, and it was like 0.1 of an ETH was sent to like I think Shaq was another one. But it's just going to be like a game of whack-a-mole. Like one will go down and then another will pop up over here, and like
so. Well, I know at Credo for like VASPs and like regarding like the travel rule solution, we have something like the quarantine functionality, which blocks toxic assets from wallets, so that you know you're always kind of safe from being exposed to like illicit activity. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to see what happens to like Dave Chappelle and all these people if they're going to get in any trouble. I'm assuming nothing will happen to them. Like,
assuming, like, you know, they've got skin in the game now. Like,
assuming makes an ass of you and I, though, doesn't it?
Pardon?
I said, assuming makes an ass out of you and I, but
Yeah.
I think what it did for them, or what it will do for them, is like cause them inconvenience. Like that wallet could be flagged for a while as one that can't interact with exchanges, stuff like that. But eventually it'll get cleared up and be okay. So I think like it just creates a pain in their ass more than anything else.
Honestly, I'd rather go to jail than have a pain in my ass. I've been stuck dealing with you for what, like 3 years now? I would rather do
hemorrhoids suffer
in Alcatraz.
Yeah. Still waiting for that rent.
Be waiting a while.
So what was your winner and loser for the week, Anna?
Yeah, so you didn't like my winner, but I just thought it was pretty cool. It was the PacSun finds the influencer, I can't even say her name, Little Mikula. Cool account. I can't tell. I don't think she's actually a robot. She's obviously just like images, but she had like a real life boyfriend, has pictures with him. She's with like Dior. She's partnered with like Dior as well, and like other big brand names, which is just kind of like, I thought was really interesting because it's kind of like reality meets virtual meets reality. Sorry, I'm shy, everyone. I'm not very good at these things.
Did they like create a robot that's like 19 years old, or is the robot 19 years old?
She's 19 years old.
So like,
I think she has an OnlyFans too, Ian. So you're in luck.
Unless there's free content, like, you know me. I don't like to pay. Yeah, that's pretty creepy and weird. Like, she has a real life boyfriend.
Yeah, well, she did. I think they broke up.
Drama, just for clout, like.
She has a better dating life than I do, honestly.
Might find her on Love Island next year.
That's strange. Like it seems like lots of brands are really trying to just like bridge this gap into like metaverse and Web3 and all that, but like I don't know. It's just nobody really knows. There's not a playbook to play by, so to speak. So they're just like shooting from the hip, isn't it? Like,
I mean, that one's got a lot of attention. They've done better than most. 3.2 million followers.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, like, the crypto Twitter thing of, you know, just have a hot girl as the PFP.
Yeah.
It's going to convert at a higher rate.
She's got a better dating life than I do too. So one up on me. Partnered with PacSun.
You know, dates lined up for the weekend?
No, just golf.
That's good.
Are you guys in? I heard recently, actually yesterday, Links DAO.
Yeah, I joined Links DAO. I'm in like some group with.
I didn't get to look too heavily into it, but I have questions. Like, where's the golf course going to be?
That's true.
It's probably going to be far away. I'm in Canada, you know. How am I going to get to this course that I'm now a member of? Are they going to fly me out?
Probably they'll do competitions. They'll like maybe create a token, stake it, like then the staking rewards you go into raffles or something like that.
I presume like a golf course is hard to make money off these days because like the upkeep of it so much. So like,
it's we had one here and it just got bought out by it used to be a public course, but they sold it because the course was shit though because they couldn't afford to keep it anmore.
Yeah, like, half of Ireland turned into golf courses during the boom. Everyone had a house on a golf course, like, and then 2008 happened. So, but like, yeah, like I think it costs. Like, I remember hearing from someone who was like a greenkeeper, every bunker on a golf course costs like the guts of 30 grand a year to maintain. Every bunker. Like, yeah, maybe it wasn't 30, maybe it was 20, but like I was like, that sounds absurdly high. But
do you think they're actually going to build a course then, or do you think it's just hearsay?
No, I don't know. Like the people involved, ask your buddy at Credo. He's running the London Web3 Golf Society thing, and they all seem to be in Links DAO as well. So I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, to be honest, as well.
I did too. I didn't do a deep dive on it yet because he actually just sent it to me like yesterday, and I was like looking into it. I was like, oh, this is cool.
It is pretty cool.
Golf, so
it's definitely
it's like those NFT clubs. Do you know the way like there was one in London where like they just did an NFT raise and then they actually bought a building in London and they just have an NFT club in London.
That's sick. I didn't.
Yeah, and if you have your NFT, you can just float in.
What?
Yeah.
I should do that.
That kind of stuff.
I should do that here, but the property market here is trash. So like I can't even afford a house. So I'll just let whoever buys my NFT, when they come to Halifax, they can come stay in my guest room, and the NFT will give them access because they helped pay for the house.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
NFT Airbnb.
NFT Airbnb, except for it's just my house, and you get to
stay with me.
But when you stay at my house, you got to take my dog for 3 walks a day, and you have to bring booze, and you have to cook dinner 3 nights a week.
You can call it Air NFT.
Yeah.
Air Anna B&B. It'll be Anna B&B.
Get that buddy.
It'll be like a reverse B&B. Instead of like me waiting on you, it'll be like you come stay in my house and wait on me.
That'll be confusing because B&B in reverse is still B&B.
Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah, and also CZ will sue you.
Yeah,
I can't believe the live stream. I just gave away like the biggest.
The biggest
that can be your alpha drop.
20.
You didn't want to get off your ass and come up with one, so that can be your alpha drop.
What was your biggest loser of the week?
Well, obviously it's Canada capping crypto investments to 30K.
All right.
But it's random because it's not BTC, ETH,
it's
or like
altcoins,
Ripple.
Altcoins.
Yeah, but there was like 1 or 2 major alts that weren't included in it.
Yeah, it was Litecoin, I think. What are the other ones? One sec, I'll Google it here. I know it's Ethereum. It was okay. Excludes only Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash are the only exclusions.
Yeah, someone's got 20,000 Litecoin just sitting there like in Canada, and this is nice. Right? Yeah.
We're not taking out Litecoin, boys.
Yeah. We gotta have those 84 million Litecoins. Charlie Lee got it out at the peak of the last boom, laughed all the way to the bank.
Like that was just written up at like exactly this time on a Friday. Like somebody had an hour and a half left in the office, and they're just like, this one, and then one more.
Does the spin a wheel? It's like, what does it land on? What's excluded?
Yeah.
So that is a big loss for Canada, to be honest. Yeah. Although, in fairness, for your average retail investor, it's really not. Like, there's not many people who are like buying listed tokens for over 30K.
No, and I think they also there's also a couple exclusions. Like, there's one that has no limits, and one is a limit of 100K. I forget what they were. Let me check.
But it is. They're fairly draconian measures. It's like, hang on a minute. Like, we're supposed to be, this is supposed to be capitalism. Well, I thought this was Canada, buddy. Like, you should be able to put your money where you want to put your money.
Okay, don't talk rude about Canada while you're on a live stream with me, buddy.
Sorry, I won't talk rude.
I'll fly right back to Ireland, all right?
No.
We have a question from Andy Galley. What do you think about Mt. Gox releasing Bitcoin due this month? It's about 140,000 Bitcoins. I don't think it's going to be an issue at all. They're not going to be 140,000 Bitcoins at once. It will, I think the trading of Bitcoin is way more than that anyway, every day. And yeah, I really, and I think the people that actually like get the Bitcoins back from Gox, they're long-term holders anyway. They're not going to just.
Are they? Well, they're forced long-term holders. They actually are the biggest winners of the week. So many of them would have dumped Bitcoin at like 2-3K. You know what I mean? So much lower than it is now. And because they've actually been forced to lock it up, they're now cashing. When is the Mt. Gox thing? It was like 2012, 2013.
2013, I think it was Gox. Yeah.
They're huge winners of the week.
It's like when you see like an old address like getting activated, like, and it's like whatever, like 1,000, 1,500 Bitcoins. You're like, oh, that's a drug dealer that just got out of jail. So hey everyone, hey Aaron, hey Elad, how are you? Thanks very much.
Any questions for me? Any questions for me? Anyone?
I don't think so.
Nothing for me.
No, yeah. Do you guys like Albert Alliance Block? I haven't heard of it. Detroit Dan, unfortunately. And Ian, what is it that you're drinking from Darvid?
A lemon drop. I have no beers in the house. My missus will kill me if I opened like any of the other like top shelf booze. So I just threw a bit of vodka, a bit of Cointreau, squeeze of lemon juice and some sugar syrup into a glass, shook it up.
He makes
Bingo,
pretty good
bango.
drinks. He makes pretty good drinks.
So surprisingly.
Surprising. His one talent, making drinks, is surprising.
I know she's making fun of me there, but I can't hear her because my connection's dropped a bit.
Yeah.
Probably for the best, Ian.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear.
I had enough of that at the start of this year.
Righto. We'll move on to a bit of an alpha drop. I will show you. So if you come down to our Telegram, there should be some links in the description below, or go onto our Altcoin Edge link tree. We did Twitter Spaces on Aptos, the whole ecosystem, and this is basically a spreadsheet on all the things that are being built on Aptos. It's a layer 1 scalable blockchain using a programming language called Move. It came out of the Facebook or the Meta or whatever Zuck's calling it nowadays. So we can see there's quite a lot being built on Aptos. Zapdos being built on Aptos. So quite a bit there, and I'm sure a few of them will be doing some. I know there was a chat of an airdrop or like running away,
Yeah, the airdrop, to be honest, sounds like hard work. Like you get 500 tokens, you have to pay about 550 to rent the AWS nodes. You have to have a lot of technical knowledge, probably some pretty high hardware as well. And I'm not sure the tokenomics for Aptos are even released. So, there could be 10 billion Aptos tokens and you get 500 of them. What do you fucking do? I don't know. Like you're just kind of taking a punt, and $500 is one thing, but spending all the time to set it up is quite another. So, wasn't massively bullish on that. I want to give a couple of quick thank yous to he's Darbit in the chat here. He's at Wappet on Twitter, and he's a member of our community, active in our Telegram, who did the most unbelievable deep dive. As he generally does in our Twitter Spaces, community chats. And thanks to Mick in our Telegram as well, who dropped that list of Aptos projects. I don't know where it came from. We would credit someone if we knew where it came from, but I do not know. It's just like, that's really cool. And if you're into early stage projects, like it doesn't get easier than that to find them, right? It's like, here's this massively funded project that, is probably going to be a pretty large layer 1, you'd imagine, because how many layer 1s have so many things like that being built on them before they're even, before they've even brought out a token ecosystem? You know what I mean? So one of the things we are doing is in the Twitter Spaces going forward, or community chats, is we have a community chat contributors group. If anyone likes doing research, just ping us on Telegram, and we'll add you. And different people are going to take different projects in that and kind of deep dive down into each of them and figure out where the opportunities are to get in. Because I think Aptos, with the backing it has, is going to be hard to get into the project itself. But often if the layer 1 takes off, then making early investments in the ecosystem projects can be a good kind of secondary way to cash in on the success of that layer 1. So don't keep talking. Please proceed.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. As you said, we don't really know the tokenomics at this point in time, so it is, kind of like up in the air. And I don't know. Usually, most projects usually play around with a billion tokens to start. Isn't that usually around the number? We've seen like projects previously change from I think IMX changed from 5 or whatever. They 10x their amount of tokens because they were going to initially start at 5 maybe, and they made it down to 50 cents. So don't quote me on that exactly, but they definitely increased their supply because we have this heuristic thing in our head where, if we get it for 5 cents, it's cheaper than $5, even though it completely depends on how many tokens are there going to be circulating in total. So that's and Ian, you had a pop up here. You had one with
I thought this was really good. This is I'll just share the screen on the video itself. This guy is Sasha Shagi. He runs a relatively small VC. In Mind are kind of a platform that help projects with funding. So they get projects on and they pitch to investors. They connect projects with investors, essentially. This was an exceptional piece of content and interview. Really deep diving into tokenomics. I love numbers. I love tokenomics. And also I'm super interested in, oops, sorry, one of the lads is ringing me there. Fuck off. So, and also really interested in the way VCs do their due diligence in comparison to, you know, how we try to do it as a channel, how, you know, retail investors that actually make the effort and actually DYO or do it. This dug into a lot of it. It struck a lot of chords with me from stuff we've been saying for months, like projects raising, that, you know, they're raising through a token sale, but actually their view is towards a merger and acquisition for the parent company, to things like liquidity tokens going up and up and up in percentage. You know, some of the shady practices that go on in the background, the conflict of interests between VCs that design tokenomics, and, you know, are obviously also designing their own vesting and release schedules. There was just a ton of really good stuff in this. And I think for, you know, it's only got 154 views, which is criminal, because so many people could learn so much from watching this video. And I certainly did. And I am not the kind of person to watch an interview for an hour. But I flew through this from 11:30 last night, lying in bed. Really, really enjoyed it. Super content, super informative. And, you know, even, you know, for me, for sure, who, you know, I've talked to projects about how to design their tokenomics. I try to do the absolute best job I can. There was 3 or 4 little tidbits in there that, you know, I learned something or thought about something that I hadn't thought about before. So I think for anyone in the space, that's an absolutely great thing to watch.
Absolutely, I checked it out as well, and I found it absolutely fascinating. I think it was brilliant. So I definitely recommend that. There'll be links in the description below. For my little, like, I had a little Degen play of the week. But first, before I get into that, really, I just want to like bring this thing from Consensus 2022 about NFTs, and I just think it's a really interesting point this gentleman makes. His name is Chris Gabriel of Mem Analysis, or as my mate's mum calls them, memes analysis. So just have a little quick listen here. Like,
this is if anybody here makes NFTs or wants to make NFTs, I'm going to give you a great secret that some few have discovered, which is that you need to make the ugliest possible NFT, because the ridiculous obscenity of it will make it sell. This is how the great popular NFTs sold, because the popular sentiment is, how did this sell? Look at this art. You know, there's the people who are like, oh, it's an investment, blah, blah, blah. That comes later. What really matters is having something so ugly that people share it and say, how is this selling? If you can make something ugly, you can get really rich.
I just thought that was a really interesting like take.
Ian, you should make yourself an NFT then.
Fuck you. It was like, as soon as you opened your mouth, I knew what was coming. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really agree with the guy. I think in certain cases, like if you look at Goblin Town, like that certainly worked. Like I think, like, you know, no offense to any holders, but I think they look like shit. But I think stuff like Mutant Apes are actually really cool looking NFTs. What actually I think is you need to hop on a narrative, have a really hot socials game, and really give people something different. Maybe not necessarily in terms of the art, but in terms of what the community are bringing out. So like what Goblin Town is, like just people making goblin noises for 4 hours. Lo and behold, there are 8,000 people in this world, or however many goblins there are and more, that really like NFTs, that just like go blah, 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 for 4 hours every day.
So what's your guys' NFT of the week then?
NFT of the week.
What do you have your eyes on?
Well, I'm looking at one, right? Like it's super small, like and like probably no, like they don't have a particularly good Twitter game, but again, they're not like trying to like they're not trying to like there's no fake bots or whatever, anything like that. Like it seems pretty organic, and like just going off that idea of like those ridiculously obscene things it might be able to sell. Like if you think about like V-Friends, right, which is literally 5-year-old drawings, right? They're one of the NFTs that's held its value, right? And obviously that's probably majorly part through the power and personality of Gary V. But like CryptoPunks also being the most like copied collection, like they're arguably horrible. Like a lot of people are massively into them and all that, but like maybe it's like maybe not ugliest, but just going against the pop trends. And yeah, like so for example, like Instagram reality is so like beautiful and all that. Maybe the NFTs have to be slightly ugly. So anyway, to cut long story short, I have been looking at this one here. Eccentrics, the whitelist is open. They've got 300 followers. They've been around for a month. They're just chilling out and doing weird shit. It's pretty damn ugly. And yeah, it's a free whitelist at the moment. I'll see what happens there. Get your whitelist and see if anything happens. Basically, that's the one that came up on my Twitter feed recently, and I've just been keeping a bit of an eye out on it. Yeah, so that's my little like maybe wouldn't call it perhaps a Degen play of the week, but it is something just like it's a whitelist that's open for maybe an NFT drop that could possibly be interesting. So yeah, that's basically it from me in that regard for the week.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like, I mean, it's so early in that one. If you want to get a whitelist, you will, and it's free mint, so it's not like you're gonna have to grind for days to get it when they have 100 followers. Like,
yeah, exactly. So like,
hop in the Discord, get your OG roll. Set a reminder for the mint date, mint thing, see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think they even have a Discord, to be honest with you. It's just going to be like over Twitter. Does that even make sense though, really? I'm not quite sure how it's all going to work. Well, it's super early. Get a whitelist. If you like the look of it, maybe it's free mint, presumably. So yeah, have a look. Do you have any hot takes for the week, Ian?
I have one, and it's to do with Polkadot, and I can open my screen and share it there and explain what it is. Let me just double check in my own mind that I'm not like releasing anything on the screen that might give people access to the various tokens out there. But yeah, I just think Polkadot, if they're going to onboard users, they really, really, really. Oh no, wait, this is just unique. Ugh, that's the Explorer. Okay. But yeah, I mean,
will I transfer?
Like, if you're going to onboard people and they come to this, the Polkadot substrate portal, like, look at how confusing and weird and unpleasant this is to actually deal with. And I know there's going to be layer ones built on Dot because Dot's the layer 0, the interoperability layer. But like, come on, I'm sorry, Unique. Like, it's not not their fault, but like, this is what the hub looks like, and it's like, here's what your .js wallet looks like. So you click on that, and it's like, could you not just like make this like MetaMask, whereby I can actually click on the wallet, there's a drop-down menu, I can select what chain I want to use, and I know there's one over here, but like actually have the ability to just like send and receive tokens and do whatever, sign into sites, connect to sites via the add-on. You can connect to sites via the add-on, but this is just an incredibly intimidating user interface that I just think is really not helping Polkadot to do. And I don't think it's like the biggest thing in the world to just like, instead of the add-on and having all your wallets here, your various different wallets for substrate ecosystem blockchains, is like why can't I click on that, have a drop down menu, see my balance, have a little box whereby I can type, another little box where I can put in an address and send and receive. So I think, like, for me, yeah, that's my hot take of the week. Like, Dot need to sort that interface out. You there? Anyone there?
I think Dot really needs to sort that interface out. I think Polkadot's gone super quiet. We see a Kala went off the peg again, and then there was another hack as well. Like, and I just think about all those people that locked up their Dot like $50 for like whatever amount of time. It seems like it doesn't like they've got, basically what I'm trying to say is like, what's that, 7 times before they're getting their money back. It doesn't seem like a particularly smart or wise thing to do at this point in time.
Did I flick off? Did I lose connection through halfway through?
No, I think you're absolutely grand, Ian. I think Anna's lost connection there, but I just made it to 2.
Anna's gone, so yeah. I'll give her a ping.
Back.
Oh, she's back.
I had an emergency. Sorry, I had to hop off.
No worries.
My dog did.
Oh no! I expect to take a Okay, finally, a bit of weird Web3. Martin Shkreli, everybody's favorite farmer bro, famous for raising the price of like a very rare disease drug from nothing of $700. Basically, he set up a Web3 company. He just got out of jail maybe 3-4 months ago. He set up a Web3 company called Druglike, and basically he said that 239 Ethereum or 450 grand got ripped out of his wallet because he downloaded a file called bigtitsroundasses.x. Now, if you're downloading porn, guys, I don't know what year you're in, firstly, but after YouTuber Muta Anas posted a video calling out Shkreli for being hacked, Shkreli himself reached out to Anas, man behind Some Ordinary Gamers, great channel, I would recommend them, to offer an explanation for the dump. According to Shkreli, the suspicious token dump was the result of a hack stemming from malware inadvertently torrented while Shkreli was trying to download some pornography. So don't be downloading big tits and roundasses.x.
Or it's just an excuse, right, for him dumping his tokens.
And people don't think he's going to be embarrassed, the embarrassment. They wouldn't people wouldn't think he wants the embarrassment.
That's I'm dubious about that. If I was going to make an outrageous lie, that's kind of the road I'd go down.
Yeah, perhaps so. Yeah.
Maybe if he added some absurd kink into the .exe file name, it would be more believable.
Perhaps so, yeah. I don't know, Shkreli seems just definitely highly intelligent, but very all over the shop in a sense. So anyway, Druglike, I don't think would be one to be looking at, and I wouldn't be putting any money or anything in there with him actually. So has anybody got anything else really, or we any other hot takes, any alpha drops?
No, I don't. No, I think those two things are super useful. That video is awesome. Really check it out if you're in the space. You'll definitely have a deeper understanding of what goes on behind what you see on token distribution charts, release schedules, fundraising rounds, and I think the Aptos ecosystem thing is definitely a way you can just figure out which projects you like, engage with them, and hopefully find ones that you really like, invest in early and make some money. No, any other hot takes? No, not particularly this week. Just we picked a bad day to start the stream with BTC dumping, but definitely been a lot of fun. And look forward to doing it again. Thanks for hopping on with us, Anna.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of shy, so I'll probably not the best.
Have another glass of wine, we'll sort that out. Anna's not shy, by the way.
I am shy. I am very
shy, maybe. In person, you're not.
I'm shy on live events. I am, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
You
should be getting used to it, hosting all those Credo AMAs. They do one every 6 hours now, right?
Yeah, but it's not my face. It's not my face. It's my voice.
Okay. So, your voice is more annoying than your face, though.
Oh, I'll take that as a compliment, Ian. Thank you.
All right. I think that's it from us. We came up to 45 minutes. If you like getting into early stage crypto opportunities, I'd really suggest you come down to our Telegram, where
follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter, absolutely. All links in the description below. I think we're in for a bit more of a rough time in the next few weeks in regards to Bitcoin and Ethereum, especially coming up to the merge.
Put your hat and mittens on. It's still crypto winter, boys.
Yeah, definitely still crypto.
Definitely is still crypto winter.
Yeah. So thanks very much, everybody. I'm Zach. That's Ian. Thank you very much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I probably won't be invited back, so this is probably.
Oh, you definitely will. Definitely an amazing one. All right, take it easy, everyone. Good luck. Have a lovely weekend.
Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.